Hey, squad. Welcome to another great episode of the Suzette Speaks Show. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining us. If you are watching, please drop a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. I have a wonderful conversation today for you. I have a special guest. Her name is Miss Shenae Hudson. She is going to talk a little bit about her experience with fear. You know, I like to use this platform to talk about topics that I think women are dealing with. And I know a lot of guys, they let me know they're in the chat too. So it can be applied to anyone's life. As you guys know, I am all about empowerment, seeking truth, uplifting folks, making sure people have, different guideposts to use. And that is one another. Most of the times we do not talk about emotional health, mental health and wellness, and just overall spiritual and physical as well. We tend to focus mostly on the money in our communities. We tend to focus mostly on, trying to, impress others, or sometimes what our parents want. There's so many different folks, our spouse, our families, whoever, that put pressure on us to do and seek things we may not even want. But one of the things, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining. I see y'all. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I see you. Welcome in. Like I said, we have a conversation coming up. I have a special guest waiting in the wings. Welcome, Patrice. Thank you for being here. Thanks so much for watching. If you're watching live or watching the replay, you know I love you. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Without you, there is no Suzette Speaks Show. So thank you so much for joining on this beautiful day. Speak on it with Annie. I see you, sis. Thank you so much. I'll drop a comment. Let me know you guys are watching. There is a lot on our hearts today when we came up with the topic, and I'm going to have this gorgeous young lady explain a little bit more about why, when we went over what to talk about today, why just do it, confront the fear was one of the shortlisted topics that we came up with. And a lot of people I know, especially in this time, I see you, my Wakandan brother. What's up? Gaston's World. We have so many people dealing with fear, dealing with mental health issues, dealing with anxiety. I know, man or woman, whoever you are, there is going to be a time, or if you're not living in that right now, where, we got to push back on that fear. We got to push back against, unmet expectations, push back against the fear of running out of time. That's a big fear for a lot of us. The fear that we have chosen the wrong career, that for some reason we weren't meant to be what we're doing now, or we weren't meant to be in the field, or you got the degree in one thing. Hello, somebody, you went back to school, you left school, you didn't finish school. There's so many fears that we carry with us into adulthood that we sometimes don't know how to process, because guess what? Those fears end up impacting and controlling us in terms of the decisions we're making, in terms of the people we seek out. For example, I know there are a lot of fears around not being alone. Ladies, y'all drop these comments in these chats, please, because I know there are so many of us, if we're truthful and if we're honest with ourselves, there's a lot of fear that we live with, even subconscious fear. But more so, I want to talk about today what you may have spent time silently afraid of, silently thinking about, that keeps you from stepping into your greatness, that keeps you from living your life fully, for keeping you from just becoming, the wonderfully expressed person that you should be. There are a lot of folks, whether they look, this is us ladies, hello somebody, we look together. Oh my gosh, we're good at wearing that mask, at wearing masks. We're pretending, some of us, to have it all together, to have all the answers, to look in control, to not let anybody down. We're the superwomen. We talked about on a different show, Superwoman syndrome is so real, because sometimes the fear is that we're going to let people down. Sometimes the fear is that we're going to miss the opportunity. So I want to talk about what you guys are thinking about when it comes to your fears, and why is it that you have not addressed them, or why are they still in control in some circumstances in parts of our lives? This is a very real thing, y'all. I want to welcome everybody in the chat. What's up? Drop a comment. Let me know you're watching. I see you guys. Hey, agreed. Phobia is a mug. Yes, you know it. Jackie, what's up? I believe from Orlando. Welcome. Good to see you. Hello to the chat. Saludos to everybody. Again, I'm Suzette Speaks. You're watching this special edition of the Suzette Speaks Show. I'm going to be talking with a special guest. She's waiting and she has a wonderful story. Stuff I didn't know about her. She and I run in the same circles, and sometimes you see people, again, you don't know them. You think you do, but there's always more than meets the eye. And I've learned that with people, that sometimes the most put together and people that seem like they're the most together oftentimes are dealing with the most heavy burdens. So we're going to take back, peel back the curtain. We're going to take a look deeper. You guys know, in the Suzette Speaks platform, I like to look introspectively. I do not want to deal with, what changes can go on external of ourselves. This is about you changing your mindset, you changing your heart, you reviving your spirit, you addressing your internal issues, right? Oftentimes we don't spend time on the internal, guys. And I realize, even in my own life, that's when we fall apart. That's when we have the most issues. That's when we walk around mad. Y'all mad? I hope not. Sometimes you're afraid. It has nothing to do with you being upset with that person or that lover or that spouse. Hello, somebody. Maybe you're just afraid they're going to leave you. So fear is a very powerful emotion, but it's just that. It's an emotion. Oftentimes we don't recognize what we're really fearing. Maybe it's your fear of being alone. Why you putting up with? Okay, all right, I'm gonna stop. Y'all ready for a conversation or what? I see you in the chat. Hey, speak on it with Annie says. Yes, so true. Received my bachelor's, getting a degree because I was afraid of public speaking, and ended up getting my master's in what I really wanted to do almost 20 years later. Is that not the truth? Some of us, I've had friends who start out, in biology, end up, in doing real estate. I have guy friends who are nurses now, but when they went to school for business. There's so many different changes we make, but oftentimes the fear of the judgment. Oh my goodness, y'all scared of what people gonna say about you? What they say, they're going to talk whether you are up or talk whether you are down. But we're still, many of us, affected by the judgment. I'm by myself with that one. Stepping out there, putting yourself out there. Maybe you hiding. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get into it. Good afternoon. Y'all give me a comment, please. I want to welcome all of you, all my new subscribers. You know I appreciate you. Can you guys believe I hit 1,000? I was watching the numbers, and I was like, Lord, this is actually happening to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can't believe in the matter of, I don't know how many hours that happened, but it's a reason for it. I think it was in the last broadcast, in the last stream, someone said, you never know what your blessing, unexpected blessing comes from. So even outside of my comfort zone came awesome opportunities to connect with all of you. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, what's up? Fear can become a major stumbling block in your life. That's why we got to talk about it. Sometimes I think, especially with Black folk, we can be very, I don't know, we can hide things very well. Why do we do that? I think sometimes because we have to code switch oftentimes between our families and between just regular life and the corporate, rat race and the corporate struggle. We are used to hiding. We are used to switching. We're used to camouflaging and pretending oftentimes, changing our voice, changing our mannerisms. I don't know if you guys do that. Maybe it's just me. But when I walk into a courtroom, we have to have a different, affect sometimes. People will take issue with that. You be yourself, of course. But there's a lot of pretense that a lot of us do in our day-to-day life. We carry, right? We don't want people to know this is an issue, that is an issue. So even within ourselves, we lie to ourselves. Oh, goodness. Y'all mad? Don't be mad. We can lie to ourselves and still love ourselves. But we have to realize that there is something else going on there that is holding us back. It's a real thing, y'all. Fear can become, medically something that's diagnosed, of course. And I'm just talking about day-to-day pressures that add fear to our lives, that immobilize us. keep us from seeking after, whatever it is. You can fill in the goal, you can fill in the career, you can fill in the relationship, you can fill in the dream. But oftentimes there is something secretly that we fear. We don't tell our partners, we don't tell our peoples, and it is literally holding us hostage. So how to get beyond the fear, y'all? Y'all want to know? I got somebody here who has dealt with something. Y'all hit that like button. I just saw one like. Hey, hold on. Let me get this up. Yes, congratulations. Thank you. Speak on it with any unexpected blessing came my way of all of the I want to call it drama of the TLA show, but it was worth it in a sense because I got a lot of new eyeballs to check out my channel. So I'm really grateful for it. Thank you. 1K Club says Gaston's World. Yes, we in the building. Oh my goodness. Came faster. I was giving myself to the end of the year, y'all. I was giving myself to the end of the year to reach that 1K. I didn't want to pressure myself. I'm new to YouTube, so to speak. So I didn't really want to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. But here we are. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. Gaston's World, you add pride while being our greatest asset can also be our greatest curse. Ain't that a word? Always coming through with the word. Pride. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I believe fear also, people can project their fears on you when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships. Y'all all up in my comments talking about what I'm gonna do and who I'm gonna be with. Y'all don't worry about me though. Do y'all want me to be afraid? Or are you afraid? Oh, I'm not. Oh, I'm gonna say it again. When you tell your plans to people and people react, are they fearing you won't be able to do it, or they know or fear that they wouldn't be able to do it? Oh, y'all, we're going to talk today now. Let's get these comments up and hit that like button, please. Derek Jones, come on, people. Hey, thank you for watching out for me. Please hit that like and that subscribe button. If you're brand new, welcome. I'm Suzette Speaks, TV host and attorney here in South Florida. Have a special guest talking about today, just do it, confront the fear. Just do it, confront the fear. That's what we're going to talk about. She is waiting. She has an incredible story. Extraordinary woman, mother, businesswoman. I didn't even know she had a struggle she has. So I'm like intrigued. And I said, again, and I love with my guests, I tell them, we're not going to talk before this. We're just going to pick a topic, prep a little bit, and I want to do it live. I want to have a real reaction along with my viewers so that we are all, just, enjoying the same experience, the genuine, authentic experience of learning from each other. So welcome. Y'all drop some likes. What up? Hey, Coach Anna. Thank you. Hey, Mars Mitch. The gentlemen are in the building. Thank you so much. I was told by several people, don't forget the guys. I won't. I'm so used to talking to ladies in real life. I gotta remember, everybody can use some personal development and empowerment. I gotta remember that. So thanks to the gentlemen. Oh, what's up? Moon Marketing in the building. Thank you. 1000K Club. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm so excited. 10K by hello now. No pressure, Gatsby's World. Y'all think so? Oh my gosh. My homeboy spoke that over me. He was like, girl, you be at 5K before you know. I was like, you think so? Like, I'm gonna have to figure out this algorithm now that I understand, how important the back end is. I think that's my next homework. All right, Chi-Town, one of my originals. Welcome, sir. Welcome to you, Max. See you. What's going on? Thank you, Juancito Francius. I love the name. From North Miami. Welcome, sir. Glad you found me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're gonna learn today. Hello, somebody. Because one thing or will learn. So I'm going to say there's a lot of new people. Some people may not know about me. I am very, I get very passionate. I am what someone would say animated and even excitable. I speak, from a place of love though. So when I make comments and when I get like excited, just know it's not from a place of judgment, because usually I'm working it out inside of me too. Okay. So I want to make that very clear. When I say what I say, it might step on some toes. And it's meant with the utmost love and respect and desire for your and my growth. We're going to grow together. I don't have it all figured out. Okay. I don't. And when I'm talking about emotional growth, people are at different phases of life and at different stages of maturity. When I talk about psychological growth, big. It don't matter how old you are. I've learned age is just a number. Y'all know that is when it comes to mental health and maturity. You can't tell me just because you 30, 40, 50, 60 that you have gotten certain amounts of maturity in your mental health and your spiritual health walk. It doesn't always happen. People grow at different rates in terms of age. Sometimes you do get more from experience, but oftentimes I've met people that I'm like, whoa, they need more exposure to different type of people. They need to travel a little bit. They need to talk to different people because they're stuck where they're from, and they're stuck in a mental box. And so to think a different way, it can be very difficult. And I sometimes cut those conversations short. I'd be like, okay, not ready for you today, because you need to open up a little bit more, gain a little bit more exposure before we can have some deep conversation. So my goal here is, for those who don't know, I started doing live workshops for women 3 years ago, pre-pandemic. And those were some powerful afternoons together where, and that's why I'm doing online now, because I was like, how am I going to get this sensation of like, oh my gosh, I'm helping a woman lighten her burden. I really enjoy that. That is a joy for me, because I felt heavy for so very long. I was carrying a lot. I wasn't sure how to process it. The woman on the outside did not match the woman on the inside, and how hurt I felt by certain things that I had experienced. So I have a heart for people who are hurting. When we talk about these things like relationships, y'all, the problem I see is a lot of both us, men and women, have not done the healing, right? We still have a lot of pain. We still have a lot of fear, right? And so when you get with a partner, you're not really ready to love them in spite of, as they grow, as you grow. We still dealing with a lot of childhood trauma. We still dealing with adult disappointments, adult hurt, things that made us feel less than. So when you go into a relationship now, you're trying to bring two wholes together. Y'all not whole. We still are suffering, especially in the Black community, when it comes to emotional health, mental health, spiritual health. We got to put those back on the forefront. Those been on the back burner for too long. We have been in pain, and we're suffering in silence. And then you want to date somebody. I'm gonna get off of that. Y'all please drop some comments. Y'all get them likes up. Welcome. It's the Suzette Speaks Show. Let me y'all, you know what? People told me to drop a Cash App. I didn't think I was ready to do that. I might do that. But again, welcome to all my new subscribers. Y'all know I love you. I hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think it was last night. I had a couple of people text me like, you're at 1K. Thank you to all the folks who found me through the TLA show. You guys, I am appreciative of you. I hope we can have some elevated discourse, letting you know this week, I think I'm going to do some reaction shows. So if you had an opinion about what you saw on the TLA show, I was like, God, I got to make sure I organize this in my thoughts, because, after the fact, you have so many things you wish you could have said, but I want to hear what you have to say. So I don't know if I'm going to do that Wednesday or Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, because there's just so much there that I thought, I want to hear from my people. You guys, the comments, I couldn't even read them. But for, again, elevated discourse is what I'm about. I'm not here for the rigmarole. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. So I really do want to revisit that. And I want to welcome you. Our topic for today, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, is just do it. Confront the fear. Now, again, some of you may be aware of what your fear is. Some of it may be very tangible. Some of us are living with fear that's below the surface. So I'm hoping through my guests that she and her story will enlighten us, empower us, have us, have a different lens through which we look at how we handle it in our lives. All of us process things different ways. Like I said, everybody matures in different timing. It is not about you and the next person. It's about you and how you feel about what your experiences were and are, and not letting how you feel slow you down. All right. Y'all ready for a great discussion? I am. Welcome again. I see so many people in the chat reacting to your interaction with TLA. Gonna put you in the game. People have been saying, what you gonna say about it? I'm like, I don't know. But this week I had one guest cancel. So I was like, I got an open show. So maybe I'll use that time later this week. and y'all, we gonna just talk. And I'm nervous about it, but it's necessary because I see that it sparked a lot of conversation. So I think the reaction video that you guys are looking for, and with your participation, I'm doing it more so because a lot of people had different opinions in the chat. Now I saw the red pill community in effect. I'm not talking about everybody that's just mad for being mad. I want real discourse, and I talked to a couple of coaches I knew down here. I'm like, yo, I need to talk about real relationships for real women. And again, I don't have all the answers. And I rely, when I do my workshops, on people who are experts, right? So I've already talked to one lady out of Orlando, good friend of mine. I asked her to deal with relationships, if she's comfortable dealing with relationships and sex and dating for ambitious women. Y'all like it? Okay, we gonna cook something up. I know that'll probably be next week, but this week I think I want to give my viewers a chance to respond. Anyway, so we got a show. I gotta bring my guests on. Facts. Hey, y'all drop a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Suzette Speaks here. Great topic today. Just do it. Confront the fear. I have a woman who is, like I said, an entrepreneur. She's a new mom. Actually, we met at my last conference, funny enough. I've watched her from afar here in the South Florida, I guess, social media sphere. I know she's ambitious. I know she also wants to see people empowered, uplifted, and, gain a sense of, control over their lives and their thought life, more importantly, and how they're thinking and what they're thinking and how fear is playing a role in their lives. And she's had real life experience with that. So without further ado, y'all drop some comments, hit some likes. I see you. Thank you, Grandma 11. Gas of the World. My daughter told me that video was posted on Lipstick Alley. No way. My friend texted me yesterday that there was another podcast talking about it. It's kind of crazy, guys. I did not, if you know me, you know I'm a private person. If you know me, you know that I would not be talking about relationships and dating like on a public forum. Actually, if TLA had asked me to come on a show like that, I probably would have said no, which is the ironic part. That outside of my comfort zone and all that hot seat for almost 2 hours is actually creating an opportunity that, honestly, if he had asked me, Sue, I have a show on this and this and that, would you be a guest? I probably wouldn't have said yes, which is very funny. So yes, we in this thing. I appreciate y'all. We got to get to my guest. She's waiting patiently. You're speaking true. Y'all know, well, as you get to know me, it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, I deal with topics that I'm struggling with. And I'm trying to be as transparent because people see me and think I'm like together. We're a work in progress. Imagine that. I'm a work in progress, just like you. So indirectly, I like to do these things because people be like, dang, you just like me. And I'll be like, why y'all think I'm like so together? Like, just because we go to court, just because we do certain things and function in society, grown up, adulting is okay. But sometimes, like I say, emotional baggage and trauma and pain and hurt and fear is real. And no matter who you are, we have different degrees of when that pops up for us. And we don't want it to hurt us, hold us back, or have us destroy sometimes the best thing that could ever happen to us. I've seen it in marriages. I've seen it in relationships where it's not even about the other person. It's how you grew up or what you think about yourself that ends up being, what destroys something that could be, successful and healthy and loving and all the things we want it to be. So without further ado, I see you. I'm in the back. Keep doing your thing. World Star Hip Hop is World Star. Yeah, y'all go. I don't even know what to think about. I'm not going on no Kevin Samuels. Y'all keep Master Lion Tamer. I told my friend, that's why I told just ironic. I said I would never go on a Kevin Samuels episode in my life. I had spoken those words out loud before this. That's why it's like crazy. I was like, God, you're so funny. I'm glad you didn't have the opportunity to say no, because look at the benefits. You're right. I hear you. Salute. Welcome. All right. So let me tell you about this young lady here. She has actually, I'm gonna just bring her up because she's been waiting. Hey, y'all, please, my special guest for today, coming all the way from the soul flow, right? With an open heart, open mind, and one of the most, I don't, she's just a go-getter. She is the head and the founder of, correct me if I'm wrong, Aspire to Inspire agency. But her story is much more powerful than the paperwork. Y'all hear me? All right, y'all ready? All right, here we go. Please give a Suzette Speaks Show. Welcome to y'all. You know, I'm kind of formal journalist, so I get a little journalisty. But welcome to Miss Shenae Hudson. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, Suzette. I
So excited.
feel
I
so
see
honored
you. Yeah, I'm seeing
to
the
be part of
chat. They saying, let's go. Salute. No fear.
it.
Here we go. I see you guys. Thank you so much for your comments. Drop them throughout. I'll post most that I can, get to. They're still talking about, I know, Miss Hudson, you don't know what I'm talking about with the TLA. Do you watch TLA? I don't know. I don't think you probably know what it is. So
No.
let's leave the conversation. That's what happened the last show. The chat talking about the TLA show, and I'm here trying to have a conversation. But good afternoon. Uncle Stu on the block, the old man on the block. What's up, sir? Welcome to you. I am so glad you're here. Let's see what the comments say. Gaston's World says, nah, she wouldn't survive Kevin Samuels' instant. You think so? She can handle chaos, says Andrew Walker. Oh, man. I don't think you guys are ever going to find out. Thank you so much. Odetto Chef says, let's go. No fear. All right, so let's do a quick introduction. The people want to know who you are. They're saying, welcome. Oh, she has a great smile. Look at all this love. Just tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, your business, etc.
Okay, well, my name is Shenae Hudson. I'm originally from Jamaica, but I've been in Florida for so long, you might as well call me a Floridian. All right. So let's just get that squared away. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a company by the name of Aspire to Inspire Agency. It's a great company for empowering youths as far as getting their ambitions started. So we deal a lot about financial literacy, personal development, self-development, confidence building, the whole nine. And other than that, I'm also a mother. I'm also very involved in my community. I sit on different boards in Broward County. I am a part of the MLK committee, the Black Chamber of Commerce, Women of Tomorrow mentor, and most proudly, a mom of 3 boys. I've just given birth to my 3rd boy, 4 months ago almost? So yeah, pretty excited.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. It's like that. I'm like, you got 3 kids. I'm learning things already. That's fantastic. Well, proud of you, sis. Thank you for doing all you doing plus the 3 kids. I was like, she do a lot in the community. So I'm like, wait a minute, you got kids too. Wow. Salute to that. That's not easy. They still saying, hey, Nay. I love it. We're on already a nickname basis.
Oh yeah.
Welcome. I see the comments. Come on, super mom. Yes, we love her. We are going to show her some love. And like I said, just in terms of this topic today, confront the fear, you jump right into it with me and some experiences you have had in your life. So I want to jump into some of the fears you've had. So I know we talked about when we shared ideas and we're going back and forth. We're talking about, people have fears around relationships for real. People have fears about not achieving or not, becoming the best they can in life. People have fears with their kids not growing up well, not going to be nothing, all that. Fear of disappointment, disappointing parents, disappointing a spouse, not being good enough is a big fear. Fear of not getting that job or making the wrong career choice. I think that's big. People have the FOMO, fear of missing out. Big time. Yes. So especially with the social media now and everybody looks like they're balling and the best 5 seconds of your life is what you post. And, people don't see you crying in the corner or in the car afterwards, or whatever, not want to get out of the car when you get home. Hello, somebody. You don't see any of that. You see the perfect family and you see all this stuff. So be real with me. Just in general, what parts of your life has fear impacted? And can you give me some examples? Like, we want to be real and, I keep it transparent. But so has fear played any role in your life and how?
Oh my goodness. Where do I start? I found that fear has been something that I struggled with for a long, long time. I believe it paralyzed me. And I'll share a little bit of my story with our listeners today, because it's very important for me to connect with all our listening audience. I want you guys to understand that I'm coming from a place of experience, not from a place of, I've been there, done that, and I'm over it, and I, don't struggle with this. So for me, as an entrepreneur and all these other things that people will tag to my name, a go-getter and all that, there was a little girl who suffered with fear tremendously. At the age of, I believe I was in my sophomore year in high school, and I found out that I was diagnosed with glaucoma, which is a disease of the eye that blinds you. There's no way around it. There's no solution to it. There is no cure. It blinds you. And I had to learn this, and I had to live with this in my sophomore year in school. However, I didn't understand the significance of this disease, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to go blind. Yeah, I panicked. I went crazy. I was like, oh my God, my life is over. As I got older and the disease progressed, and it caused me to not be able to do a lot of different things, I started to really, really, really go crazy. And I started to really have a lot of fear, because my greatest fear was not being able to see my children physically grow up, not being able to drive, not being able to be as independent as I'd want to be. So that paralyzed me for years. And the story that led me to starting my own company was the fact that the disease got so bad that I needed immediate surgery. I was literally...
Oh, sis, hold up, sis. Y'all drop some comments. Y'all hit that like button. I'm just profoundly moved just thinking about, we didn't even get to health diagnosis fear.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't even get to that. So I'm glad you are giving a real life example. You are a living example. I cannot imagine being 10. How old are you in 10th grade? 16 or so?
Right?
15, 16.
16, yeah.
And getting a diagnosis in 10th grade and looking around like, whoa, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
This is not supposed to happen to me. How many of y'all have said that at any stage of your life? This is not supposed to happen to me. Mm-hmm. I'm young, I'm just living my life. And then boom.
Yes.
Something crazy like this is told to you. Now, can I ask a couple questions about,
sure.
Is it genetic in your family or anything like that? Had anybody else?
No one else.
Like this?
I'm the only special person.
Anybody wouldn't have had no inclination that somebody this young. Glaucoma is really found in like typically older people.
Exactly.
But so a 15, 16-year-old talking about glaucoma, we all like, what? This is, if you're familiar with it, my mom is a retired registered nurse. Mm-hmm. So she used to work eyes. So this is like real for me. You work on eyes and things like this. So thinking about that, can you give us a little bit of the medical definition of what that means for people who are not familiar with this? What does that mean? Y'all hit the like button. Y'all don't be stingy. So, what does that mean? What is a glaucoma?
So glaucoma is basically the damaged pupils in your eyes. Once the nerve vessels are damaged in your eyes, you have lost vision. So for me, I'm going to be 33 on Tuesday. So a 33-year-old almost, basically. There's a lot of damaged nerves in my eyes. So there are a lot of blind spots and blind areas. So you're coming towards me or I'm doing something and there is a blind spot. There's a lot of accidents that can happen. There's a lot of mistakes that can happen. So I had to learn how to maneuver through those blind areas and to live a life that's still fulfilling in spite of my fear that is constantly before me. Darkness, constantly. Yeah.
So when I see a comment, Master Lion Tamer says it can be hereditary, but in your case, it was not. So was it immediate that you started to lose your vision? Was it were you having problems? That's why you went?
Yes.
And then they start seeing these things and you're like, oh, snap, what's going on?
Yes.
And how bad was it initially and how fast did it progress?
For me, all my life, I haven't been able to see well. So I suffered in school because I was not able to see well. My fundamentals, I didn't get to learn really well. I remember as young as second and third grade, struggling with those fundamental things that we need to learn in math and, in science and reading and all that, because the board, I couldn't see anything. And in Jamaica, everything was on the chalkboard, So if I'm not seeing that and I'm not, and I'm set, they put me in the front of the classroom all the way up to the board and I'm still not seeing it. And I'm like, something
Wow.
is wrong. But I thought it was normalized. I'm like, why is it that when I go to, the track and field games that my dad would take me to, why is it that they look like little beans down there?
Oh
I
my
can't really see
God.
anyone running. And I would pretend all my life saying, oh, wow, he did that. Oh, yeah, he won the race. And
I just that you wilding. I'm
of
excited.
course.
I'm just hearing all this. I thank God. I'm so grateful that we live in America because
Yes.
simple eye tests
Yeah.
are not available everywhere. And I
Right.
don't know if we take that for granted or we are aware
Right.
that getting like your eyes tested, getting a pair of glasses that
Hmm.
are prescription for you is
Oh,
not the
yeah.
norm everywhere around this world. So
Yes.
thanks for bringing that up. But
Yes.
I also think about how many young people, how many children start out life with some sort of, challenge that
Hmm.
is real and
Yeah.
who get blamed for or who are
Absolutely.
categorized as, not able to learn or
Hmm.
incorrigible or,
Hmm.
uneducable and all these
Hmm.
things when literally half the students, I think in Jamaica is actually very prevalent. They can't
Yeah.
see. They
Yep.
can't see nothing. And we don't
Yep.
have the resources that are present in places like the United States. So I have
Yes.
some questions in the chat. Patrice Garner says, "Are you considered legally blind now, sister? Are you?"
Yes, I'm considered legally blind.
Ooh, okay. And then I
Legally
see
blind.
Master Lion Tamer says, "High blood pressure in the optic nerve usually tips off possible issues. Did you have any related high blood pressure? Because I'm telling you, you give us a health talk
Right.
now.
So
Did you have anything like that?"
I had congenital glaucoma. That's what I have. So I was born with it. I didn't
Oh.
develop it. I was
Mhm.
born with it. Because of how
Oh.
aggressive it was, they were like, okay, there's no way you just developed this and have it this aggressive and
So
this much
your
damage.
whole life you seeing
I,
specks of people, you can't
yes.
see the chalkboard. I'm
Yes.
sure in your reading assignments, your math assignments, all
Oh,
of your
yeah.
assignments, you were
Yes.
considered like, oh my God, bad student, because we put that pressure on you.
Oh, yeah.
Them
Oh, yeah.
Jamaican parents don't play.
Oh, yeah.
So you were literally like suffering in silence.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. So the progression was pretty quick. Once you got the diagnosis, was there any treatment? What
So
was that like?
I had surgery, and the surgery was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. The surgery had me debilitated in the room. I had to have everyone moving things for me. The light would trigger this headache that felt like electricity running through my body that I would
Mm,
shake. And
mm.
it was scary because it was like a risky surgery because I was so delicate that I was like, you know what, it's just willing just to try and save what vision I had by them putting a tube in the eye to drain the fluid. So it's still there. It's I'm
Wow.
still here. They
So
said,
you've been slowly losing your vision your whole
yes,
life.
yes,
All
yeah,
right, y'all better get these likes up. I'm just moved.
yes,
So many of us don't know what problems are
yeah,
till we hear what other people have had to live with.
hmm,
And some of us have, problems that occur naturally because it's called life. And once we
yes,
live, we're going to have challenges. But I am just amazed at hearing your story, understanding that you were born with this. I see other comments in the chat saying, Patrice adds, glaucoma is how Ray Charles lost his sight at a
yes,
young age. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you. And then Master Lion Tamer says, not blood pressure, sorry, but pressure on the optic nerve. Thank you for that
yes.
correction. I see you, Miss Sandy. Good day to you, my love. Thanks for coming in. We're going to drop some gems. We talk about fear today, and some of y'all, I sound very, very judgmental. Some of us, but I mean it with love. Y'all already got to know.
I
I'm
know.
saying it very strongly, but I mean it for real, for real. We're going to wake up with fear sometimes. Sometimes fear is going to play an outsized role more so than other seasons of our lives. But I did reach out to Shenae because I had no idea of the health part of your very reasonable fear.
Mhm.
And to see what you have done in spite of, we got to get to the formula. So let's
Yes.
talk a little bit about did you go to college and stuff like that? How were you compensating with the disease and with the slow but steady loss or losing of your eyesight? What was early life like as a young adult?
I would say it was traumatic because I was bullied a lot. And people would always make jokes, girl, you're blind. Dang, you blind. Whoa, them glasses thick. Oh, it would just come left, right, and center. And I had to work from within. Even in my early adult years, I would say that's when it became real. When dating, I was afraid to let someone in on what my struggles were, because when I would go to dinner with someone who I'm dating, I'm not typically fond of going to a dimmed dinner table, because, hey, the menu, I'm going to be squinting, or he'll see like, what is wrong with this girl? Why is it that she's squinting all the way down to the menu right here in front of her? Why is it that she's walking this slow and this cautious? So one of the things I wanted to really, really share or touch on is what life looks like for me today, and how I'm really dealing with fear. So here is how I confront it. So this fear is there that I don't see well, and no one truly understands, because I have to kind of break it down so you can see through my eyes. So I'm in the process of writing a book through her eyes. It will be out soon. And that's me speaking that into existence, because I've already started it. So now this is compelling me to finish it. So here goes. A young lady that is aware of her inadequacies. She's aware of the fact that, listen, I want to live a life that is fulfilling. I don't want to feel limited. So here goes Shenae dressing up when she's going on a date with her fiance in heels. And I know for a fact that there's a chance that I could fall in these heels, right? But I'm feeling myself, and I feel so brave that, listen, I still want to feel sexy. I still want to feel beautiful. So I put on those heels. And while I'm walking, I am constantly speaking to myself, telling me, girl, you got this. I don't even see in front of me, but I'm very cautious with, my surrounding, trying to, put my hands certain places and make it look easy. Not that I'm trying to fake it. Not that I'm trying to pretend to be what I'm not.
No, hold, pause. You're giving a whole sermon. Pause. Sorry to interrupt. I don't mean to, because you're flowing, my darling.
Yes.
I don't know who needs to hear this, and I don't know what part of your life you can apply it to. Yes. We're here to talk with Shenae Hudson, Aspire to Inspire Agency. But the beauty of what she is sharing is that whatever your fear is, guys, you can apply some of these tactics.
Yes.
So whatever you're experiencing, I'm grateful that she has been and is being so open. Let the comments flow, because I see Bill Cosby has been battling glaucoma. I didn't know that's what he had. He's now fully blind. Juancito says, I'm so sympathetic to you, dear. And Andrew jumps in saying she's the epitome of bravery and execution of goals. Now, if you won't talk about what is difficult in life and the things that would be actually really good excuses, because we'll get around people that will validate our excuses, guys, because we do have some really good ones. So-and-so passed, so-and-so died, so-and-so did this, so-and-so that. Try walking around legally blind and still trying to meet your mate, still trying to achieve in your career, still trying to have a family. Try that. So what she's saying, guys, I don't want to gloss over the fact that what she is doing is, very brave. But the beauty of it is we can take some of her technique and apply it to our own lives when it comes to, what we are really afraid of. So I'm really grateful for that. Master Lion Tamer says, that's a great concept. Sandy W jumps in. That's a coping tactic I use when I have to deal with my own issues. She is really helping people. Absolutely. Thank you. Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, says, many military vets fight PTSD daily. Yet we must all live our daily lives. And I do yet live. I hear you, sir. Thank you for your service. Thank you for sharing your story with us, says Patrice. You are a brave woman. I salute you. Amen, Uncle Stu. You see people, y'all, we don't know what they dealing with.
Yes. Absolutely.
Acting up, acting crazy, maybe a little rude, maybe a little short-tempered, beeping you in the traffic. You don't know why. I mean, most people are not angry about some people are angry about what's happening in the moment, but there are very many of us that are responding to internal stimuli, things we cannot see. That's why
Yes.
y'all gotta be careful how we treat people out here.
Yeah.
From our kids. Our kids are suffering from internal fear, internal stimuli. They've been in a pandemic. We have been in a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Scared. I remember my little cousin was scared to go back to school. He kept saying he didn't want to go to school. I just realized, I'm like, we have been scaring him for over a year. Don't touch anything. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. When it was time to go back to school, he was living like, y'all go put me in school.
Right. Right.
Did you warn me that I would die if I go to school? Like,
Right.
but all of us are in one way or another. Go with me here, Uncle Stu, having some PTSD
Mm-hmm.
to different degrees.
Yeah.
Not to minimize that. I'm not talking about the diagnosable, like real hardcore. I'm talking about in some instances, varying degrees.
Yes.
We got to move past that PTSD. And I'm grateful to hear this woman. They talking about real talk. Absolutely, absolutely. This is the real living in fear. Y'all thought y'all lived in fear though? You thought you had one? You probably still do. But this is some real stuff, guys. And I think in terms of how she has dealt with it, we're gonna get some nuggets. So you go into your own business. You decide, why you just try to, kind of alluded to it now.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me about that part of your journey. So take us there. Take us into
Well,
you moving into adulthood. So you dating. Finish that story
yeah.
first.
So
Yes.
with me dating, that was always
Yeah.
something that I was worried about. My
Yes.
fear of rejection, my fear
Yes.
of if this guy finds out that I have this disease, is he going to want to stick with me? That's a real fear.
Amen.
Worried about if this guy's going to leave me when I perhaps lose my vision. So these were fears that I lived with, and I just kind of didn't want to get into anything too serious. And then there were times when I did want to get into something serious and I wasn't trusting. So I would never really let the guy in on what I was coping with, what I had to deal with. And, these things were things that were plaguing me constantly. And especially with the working industry, forget it. Working for someone, they would not understand why I had to be this close to the computer, in order to get the job done. I would get it done, but perhaps my pace would be a little slower. Perhaps they would have to make accommodations. And it was just like, what is going on with this young lady? And me explaining to them that, listen, I'm actually legally blind. It's just like, wait, what? So how are you going to do the job? And I would explain that I can still do the job, but I've actually gotten fired from my first job because I revealed that to my employer. I was working
baby, we should have had a EEOC. Like, you should have called me. We would have had a claim discrimination.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fired instantly.
Wow.
At
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So think about this, guys. You're a young adult. Sky is the limit. The world is your oyster. You're trying to date. You're trying to get out there. You're afraid. Oh my God, this is going to help somebody. You're afraid to expose what is the most intimate hurt. Now, again, kind of like piggyback on whatever we said on TLA. What I said was you gonna meet a lot of jokers out here though. Yes. And for example, like she'll attest to you in Miami, we got a lot of bums. So I'm not telling you to immediately expose your deepest, darkest secret on date number 4. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not saying every person that you date is gonna be worthy of that. But when you do meet somebody that's special, folks in the chat, you oftentimes, if the fear is this real to you, we can miss opportunities for relationships, both personal and professional, because we're hanging on to how we were made to feel.
Yes.
So let me ask y'all in the chat, who told you you wasn't going to find somebody? Because in Shenae's case of her debilitating glaucoma, but who told you wasn't going to do that? What, because you got a baby already? You fearing that nobody gonna accept the child? I don't know what it is, sis. We're gonna get into it. Because I think a lot of people walking around here would be more open, would be more ready for love, for relationships, for careers, for changes, whatever they are. If we confronted, wow, I don't think I'm really worthy of this because somebody told me, or somebody growing up made me feel like, girl, you're not gonna make it, you blind, or you're going blind. Give up on you, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So whether it's something similar or, guys, it could be something completely different. I just wanted you to, what we say, compare and contrast. See what she says about hers and how she has been able to process this and move past in many ways, still coping with, the fear. It's not a matter of it's going to be gone. but we don't want it to hold us back and infringe upon us taking the best opportunities and getting the best from people and the best out of life.
Yes.
That's what we don't want. So let's recognize, y'all drop some comments in here and let me know if this is helping you. If you can see yourself in her and understanding that all of us gonna have fear at one stage or another. Hers just happened to be tangible. Hers is like a physical impairment, if you will. And how you still got to go find a job. Like Uncle Stu say, you're a vet, but you still expected to get up and go walk around in society and go do what normal quote unquote people do. And you still have it. So they let you go from that first job. Yikes. I wish I knew you then. We would have filed some paperwork. But what happens? What happens to your spirit when that happens? How do you start feeling about yourself?
I was devastated because I spoke to my mother at that time and I told her that, Mom, the minute I revealed that to my employer, he got rid of me, and I was doing great work. I was getting tips and everything. Wow. And I was just like, you could have given me another position then if you didn't think I was fit to do the cashiering because you're worried that the money would go short or whatever the case may be. I would, mix things up. That's fine. But it continued. The cycle continued. Every job, I wasn't able to really maintain it because a lot of them weren't willing to make the accommodations. A lot of them were making demands that I couldn't meet. And I got frustrated and I gave up. I was no longer able to drive and go wild and do whatever I wanted to do. I remember the first time I took my first long road trip, my mother looked at me and said, "You're crazy." I drove from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way to Fort Lauderdale, which is a 5-hour drive.
Hold on. You drove?
With my eyes.
Oh my God.
I did that. But honestly, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't able to
oh, no. Okay. At that time, you could do it.
Yeah, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Mom, I'm like, hold on.
Wouldn't do it now.
Yes.
Yeah,
wow.
Wouldn't do it now, but I did that. There's
so much strength in that because I'm listening to you. Yes, I see some people in the comments. Let me read some of these comments. Yes, Patrice says many of us are suffering from PTSD now due to the pandemic and don't even realize it. Yes. So some of us, the fear is very real. The fear of other people is what I have been calling it. You so scared of even touching people. I still elbow people. Oh, hey, give me a what's up. Don't touch my hand.
Right.
Give me 50 feet. Give me 30 feet. I have not been emceeing as much. Unless the event is outside, I won't MC it. People call me, can you do this book launch? Can you do this? Is it outside? This is real. The PTSD of like looking at a person and back up off me from helping me, not catch nothing. Uncle Stu says the only way we make it through by fighting the thoughts while seeking help. This is a big part of it with mental health and trying to heal daily. Yes. What we're giving is a kind of primer, guys. Yes. There are many people who will be watching who might need more in-depth professional help. There's nothing wrong with that. Seeking a licensed therapist is good. A licensed counselor, spiritual counseling, if that's what you're into. But we may, and I probably could have put up a warning, like if this is triggering for you, and if there's parts of you that after you watch this conversation, you feel like, oh heck, I need help with that. Definitely seek out help. And they have, I think, like Black psychologists, if you want, .com. There's so many places now. There's apps now. You can actually talk to somebody. So I will encourage that. They agree with Uncle Stu. Thank you, Dr. Mika Mears. You're an amazing woman, queen. Okay. Yes. Cosign. Yes, Uncle Stu, that was a lawsuit. Talking about they firing you because of that. No, they have to make accommodation under the law. That part about it makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't know my rights then.
No, you didn't know your right. Y'all better call somebody. Like, no, that is unacceptable. And wow, that really is shocking, but I'm not surprised because people do it because they get away with it. One phone call, bet you have. Child, please. Shenae, I'd never let you miss a doctor's appointment. It's a special edition. I hear you. Wow. Be careful. R.I.P. Courtney Cox. I don't know that name. The Black attorney that was recently murdered by a thug. Woo. I will look at that, DS. Thank you. Good looking out. Let me see. Master Lion Tamer says behind every Joker is Batman. What does that mean? Glaucoma should never be a deal breaker. Oh, I hear you, but you be nervous about it. Y'all would be okay with somebody like, hi, I'm sorry, I have glaucoma. Like, I don't know, you don't say it like that, but
Right,
there's
right.
so many hangups people have.
Oh yeah.
People have
Oh, I'm
revealed
gonna have to take care of you.
yeah, like, oh, I'm, you're already signing up for that. Like, you don't
Right.
want to put that on anybody, and you feel kind of weird
Correct.
about revealing that. But it's
Mm-hmm.
you. That's really you. That's a part of your truth.
Yes.
See, Uncle Stu responding. There are people crippled emotionally because of someone projecting some perceived weaknesses on them. Let me read that again, Sandy Double. That's a good word. There are people crippled emotionally because of someone. I'm thinking parent. I'm thinking loved one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Because of
Whew.
someone projecting some perceived weakness on them. So can I ask you that? How did your parents, after the diagnosis? So wait. How did your parents deal with, were you a good student academically coming up?
I struggled. So
Yeah,
I was just average. I was just average.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So
I was just an
curious,
average.
how did they talk to you about it? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Like, how did they talk to you about it once you actually got a diagnosis? I'm sure that was a sense of relief, but
Yes.
was there optimism? Did they hit you with a girl, you could do anything, or was there fear? What was it? What was it like?
Honestly, my family was very supportive.
Okay, good.
Has been very supportive.
Good.
However, there was fear. So while they're supportive, they're coddling me because this is their baby girl that is now vulnerable to wicked men who can just abuse her and just leave her and just perhaps leave her
take
while she
advantage.
needs them the most, So my mom was very protective, and she still is very protective of me because of that. And
so indirectly, that
Yes.
as she's talking about, that perceived fear adds to your fear factor. You might want to go because you're young, you don't even have the life experience to know you're not supposed to do certain things. But because your mom, this is me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My parents' fears I had to work through.
Yes.
When we first came, y'all don't know, when they migrated in the 80s to South Florida, Miami was like a hotbed of like, I don't know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And there was a lot of killing, a lot of organized crime and things like this. So I remember the fear, even when we first moved here. I remember feeling like I'm gonna get killed in Miami, like the way it was portrayed. And like, it was just, I was so afraid. I was like, why are we living here? Like, it was so crazy how, what was the household's feeling of like, oh my gosh, insecurity, which it, was a wild, wild west, cocaine cowboys, all that. But I just remember how much afraid I was, and even how that might impact me even now, subconsciously. Let's get some more comments here. Uncle Stu, the Bible says, who told you you were naked? Meaning, who told you the lie God never said about you? Oh, that's a word, Uncle Stu. Come on now. Yes, I see Uncle Stu on the block. Uncle Stu on the block. I hear you, sir. There are many online resources for therapy. Thank you for that reminder. Yes, the ADA, Americans with Disability Act. They have to make accommodation. If anybody's experiencing something like this, some kind of physical impairment.
Yes.
Oh no. Please don't. Hey, Juana. Hey, so y'all TLA. Welcome, sis. Welcome. TLA superstar. I don't know about all that, but thank you. Wicked men. Oh, yeah. I hear you. Because now we're afraid of men. Because now we like, we can't trust them. They're gonna hurt us. This is real. I saw your question. I'm not gonna get into it, but did I miss your question? I'm sorry. Okay, I thought it was somebody else. Hold on. Sorry, Patrice, your question. Oh, thank you. If I may ask, are your children safe from this currently? And do you now fear they will inherit it from you? Thank you. Sorry, I didn't see that. Go ahead.
Well, my children have great vision. Thank God. So
Hallelujah.
I don't know how God did it, but he did it. And I feel like this is just my story for me to help someone else, because no one else, as I repeat, no one else in my family has glaucoma, but my grandmother on my dad's side that had it because she's old.
Right. I think my grandma had it too, either cataract or she was got a cataract. I can remember. She got it scraped off. I think that might be cataract. So yeah, absolutely. I see you. Sorry, Patrice. I got you, girl. Yes, glaucoma is definitely covered under the ADA. Absolutely. Yes, you did. You took disability law. Hello. That's a big deal. People not hiring you or firing you or not making accommodation. Reasonable accommodation, I think, is what it says. So if they could reasonably get you a screen to make things bigger, or reasonably do it, they're supposed to be able to do it.
Absolutely.
So okay, off that soapbox. So we get into life. Are you moving in fear daily? After you lose your jobs, after you kind of figure out, I want to be a mom, I want to do these things, I don't want to tell people when I'm dating them right away, oh my gosh, this is something that's wrong with me. So how does one navigate? Sandy's asking, please do not let someone's words shame you into not getting help. The resources are certainly better than 15 years ago. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Welcome. I'm sorry, Patrice, I had missed it. Not afraid of men, just wicked at you. Amen. That's a part. We'll clarify. Everybody ain't wicked. We'll clarify. It ain't that guy. No, but this is how we are conditioned.
Yes.
These evil men are going to do something to you, and you're like afraid of your own shadow.
Oh yeah.
Afraid of your own shadow.
Yes.
There's so much there, but keep going. So how do you move? How do you get through that fear? What is the fear like as you're realizing that your vision is going more and more?
The fear is real, might I add. But it's crazy because innately I'm a risk taker. Innately, I'm a just do it girl. Innately, in spite of fear, I still go. So my heart is pounding. I'm nervous. I'm fearing rejection. I'm fearing being just not knowing where to fit in. So even my friends, it's hard to say who would I associate myself with? Who's going to understand that I don't need to be coddled? I don't need you to have pity on me. I want you to just understand and be aware so that if I do something or I do make a mistake or I do slip and drop the drinks on your dress next to me while you're standing, it was not purposeful. So it's just little things like that. I just kept moving. And that's something that was profound to me and why perhaps I even came up with the topic, just do it. So I do understand that fear is never going anywhere. That's the facts. And just as an analogy, babies, for instance, are one of the most fearless beings that we can find, right? Kids always feel that they're Superman, Superwoman. They'll do some crazy things. And you're like, what is this kid doing? You can't jump from there to there and not hurt yourself. Don't do that. That's because they have very limited fear, right? And as we get older, we have learnt fear. We have learnt phobias. We have learnt things that has given us a perceived notion that, okay, if I do this, the odds are going to be against me. We have a perception that if I choose this negative thing is going to happen. And that's where I learned to confront fear. I learned that if I adjust my mindset, because this is a perceived belief, this is something that I think is going to happen, I can adjust my thinking. I can adjust what I think the outcome will be. And that is how I got through it. That is how I work.
You're giving a word, ma'am. I'm reading the comments. I'm digesting what you're saying. Again, I'm doing this for y'all, but I'm often moved in my own spirit. Things I've dealt with, things I am dealing with. Uncle Stu says, in your weakness, God is your strength. Ha! Yes. The favorite network says, is it too late to file a lawsuit? Actually, it depends on timing, but we're not getting into that. She could call me after for free. I was talk about that. Okay. Thank you, Master Lion Tamer. Mr. Special Edition says, keep fighting and being a go-getter. Absolutely. I like this. This was on the point you were just making. Juana Washington says, fear. Y'all have heard this acronym? Maybe you haven't. False evidence appearing real. Trust God. Oh, wow. Kefe Reye, I hope I'm saying that, Atun. You Black women are the original natural scientists. So it should be a science formula to dating. Oh, Lord. We get back and all you have to do is figure it out equals good result. Amen, my brother. We were, like I say, that's another show. Y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, get them likes up. I'm appreciative of your support. I'm here with Miss Shenae Hudson. I'm reading the comments. I'm listening to her. I'm just so grateful that she's come on, and welcome to my new subscribers. Y'all, I'm so excited. I hit that 1K yesterday. And like I said, blessings in disguise when I thought I was like getting put on the hot seat. Here we are getting to know each other and actually getting a good word of encouragement. So Miss Shenae, I'm going to ask you about that mindset, because one thing I've realized is that the human mind
Yes.
is by nature, somebody would say evolution, I don't care what you believe, but by nature designed to preserve you. The human mind wants to keep you alive and keep your physical body, your systems working for as long as possible. We are, what should I say? I would call it divinely created.
Yes.
To towards what's the word I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say like elongating your life.
Yes.
That's what your brain is trained to do. So your brain wants you to avoid danger, and your brain is good at memory. Well, if you don't have disease. So the two things your brain gonna do is try to remember what was dangerous, remember what hurt you, remember what caused pain. And the other thing it's going to do is look around and say, "Oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that." We try to preserve you for life, right? And those two things, the brain is an amazing computer, amazing instrument, like something we can't even comprehend as human beings fully. But it is in that super function that it sometimes, inadvertently will keep us stagnant. As you said, will paralyze, just your words, will paralyze you from making no moves. And we have to recognize that's the brain's function. I heard it put to me one way that it is not, you are not the thought, you are having the thought. So it's going to have something.
Ooh, I love that.
The thought is a passing, what should I say, creation of your brain.
Come on.
The thought is happening. Yes. It is passing, but it is not who you are. This is why meditation is important. This is why prayer is important.
Yes.
Sometimes when we get still, we hear all these things going, but we could calm them down and realize that I am not that thought.
That's right.
If I choose not to be.
Yeah.
We have to recognize that thought, and especially when it's in a negative sense, and it's in that nature preserving you sense, you got to arrest that negative thought as soon as it happens in your brain. And recognize it for what it is. Look at it as a almost like an existential, like third person, like out of body. Yes. My thought is not me being. My thought is crossing my mind.
Right.
Is it telling me something? Is that the Holy Spirit? You got to figure out what your thoughts are doing. But you can't say I am that thought, because that fear, if you define yourself by that thought, baby, you will continue to be paralyzed. Absolutely. So you might have to look and observe that thought. Think about, what did I just think? How come I just think that? Okay, is that true? No, it's not true. Maybe I have to counter it. When we talk about affirmations, maybe I have to counter it with a positive thought. To say, no, I'm going to go out here, I'm legally blind, and there's going to be a big bad man in the grocery store. Or maybe I could just go to the grocery store and it'll be fine. And I'm going to get my groceries and I'm going to still be, vigilant. But I'm not going to rely on what I know is a faulty thought.
Right.
Because of my brain's wiring. Yes. And my brain is trying to preserve me for long life. Yes. And it's going to warn me and it's going to remember.
Yes.
So we got to get control. When you say bring every thought under dominion, I'm not going to preach today.
Woo!
But we have to exercise that kind of like awareness and an intelligence that understands we are not our thought. I'm going to leave you guys there. I'm not going to leave y'all, but no, Shenae, we got more to talk about. But I'm just saying, somebody going to get that.
Yeah.
When you're exercising, like a thought is happening, but it is not necessarily you.
Absolutely.
It is almost, how can I put it? Like a brain reflex is the best way I can put it. Warning you of danger and reminding you, oh, I learned that stove was hot, so I'm not going to touch it again. Right? But maybe that stove is off. Right? We might have to do a show specifically about that, changing one's thought lives, because it goes right here into the fear part. But sometimes I don't think people realize the brain as a it's not a muscle, but just as a reflex, how it's designed, how it's evolved. It's going to provide you with this kind of like protective thinking. That's how it, and we as Black folk even more, because now our parents and our grandparents, our great grandparents and our great great grandparents have drilled fear into us because of their experiences. That post-traumatic slavery syndrome. As some people was trying to say, we descendants of Africans from Jamaica, but I just got dropped off earlier than you.
Right.
But we have the same generational thinking too. That's put in, like it was meant to protect, but it is now like, again, keeping us hostage. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get in this. I'm gonna get in this. Let me get in these comments. Let me get in these comments. I see you. Welcome, guys. We're getting really deep. When you're exercising like a thought is happening, but it is not necessarily you. It is almost, how can I put it? Like a brain reflex. How Thank you. Simon Hectic in the building. Welcome, sir. Saying we are hardwired to, I would add, not only evolve, survive. The brain is trying to preserve us. So it is warning us. It's almost like, you chase the lion, or like we'll say, if you believe like in evolution, you used to be afraid of the lion because we were hunter gatherers living in villages. But in America, we're not chasing lions. So who are you afraid of? Your job now is the lion. So that overreaction of adrenaline and fear is no longer from the natural environment. Now the lion is your husband. Y'all don't want none of this today. Y'all don't want none of this. Fight or flight. Yes, Uncle Stu. What's up? Welcome, Cynthia. I see you. Thank you. Like watching TV. You must watch your mind and change it. Yes. Inundated with bad news every day. Who is my CNN, MSNBC? I don't even know. Maybe some Fox News junkies up here.
Right.
They say a day, I think it's like just below 1 million watch MSNBC. Fox has more than that, about 1 million viewers during prime time. And CNN is right below as well. So if you got 750,000 people on average on one of these channels, what is it telling you? What is it conditioning your brain to believe?
Fear.
Woo, Jesus. All right, let's keep it moving. Bind up those thoughts which go against the thoughts of God. It is written, yes, remember the thoughts I have for you. Thoughts to prosper you and to give you an expected end. That's a real word. Yes. So if any thought is not a good thought, it can't be from God.
Right.
It is passing. It has maybe been conditioned by the news. It has maybe been conditioned by our forefathers and our parents or whoever. It has maybe been conditioned under the circumstances that you grew up in. Maybe you weren't in the most healthy environment. So you have been conditioned to believe every man is bad or every woman is dead, whatever it is. But we have to be a neutral observer of our thoughts.
Yes.
Our thoughts are not us. We have to observe them. Shenae, keep going with your story about how you have maneuvered the thinking behind, fear in your life.
Well, as I've adjusted the way how I think, I've started to tell myself positive affirmations. So the moment I even hear from anyone the slightest, but you can't, or you're sure you should, I go completely against that, because I don't believe that there's anything that is within me that I can fathom or conjure up in this mind that I can't do. So the minute that I've even perceived it and thought it, I know I can do it. So that's something that I've started to tell myself. And I'm not, as I said before, I feel I do believe also that there is also a form of us where we pretend that we're fearless and we pretend like we don't battle with fear. Just as how sin, if for those who are Christians or God-fearing, is real to us, fear is also existing, right? So it's a battle every day. It's not like we get to this ultimate high where we will never fear anything again. No, there's things that you will constantly have to work on, constantly have to battle, just like your self-work. You constantly have to work on self. The minute you feel you've discovered yourself, you discover something else. You're like, wait, I got this to deal with. Yeah. So I constantly tell myself, girl, you've got this. Don't let no one tell you otherwise. You can do it. Who gonna stop you? Whatever it is that I got to tell myself, I tell myself that. So I adjust the way I think and perceive things. I tend to perceive things on a more optimistic viewpoint. I'm not a pessimist. So there's nothing I go after pessimistically. You can be cautious and aware of things, but still just do that which you desire to do after you've assessed, after you've seen it. You don't have to spend time making everything perfect, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. I want a podcast. Okay, it's 6 years now. You've been saying this for 6 years. You haven't done it.
What's the fear? Why you not starting it, sis?
Exactly.
Are you afraid what people are going to think? Are you afraid you don't have a story that's valued enough that people don't listen?
Right.
We got to get to the why. What I've had a good, actually, you know who told me this? Tony, for you guys have watched the past show, Tony Gonzalez, my good friend from Atlanta, mental health. He asked me, I was telling him a story, and he was like, oh, I was like, you playing psychologist right now? You let me know. He was like, what I want to know from you is where the thinking about that came from. And I think a lot of us will be able to stand in our truth if we try to go back to, why do I think I'm not going to get married?
Right.
Or why do I think I'm not good enough to start that podcast? Or why do I think it would be better if I just stick to law and not go into something else that I'm passionate about? Where did that thinking come from? That's a very important thing. Like, where is the origin of that thinking? I think that will help a lot of people. Sometimes it's not just a thought, but dang, how come I end up thinking like this? That negativity around. And I'm like you, hun, let it be too negative. A whole friendship get cut off.
It's over. I don't want to hear
it. I love you, but you won't be calling my phone, no. Not that bad, guys. But I'm serious. If you get into being a negative Nancy, and every time I try to give you a word, I try to encourage you. And every time I give you a little idea, you on some, well, how that's gonna go, and how y'all drop some likes. Drop some likes. I know we helping somebody. Yes, Juana. Let me read a couple comments. Yes, third person, outer body. You are not your thoughts. That's Eckhart Tolle. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to read the Eckhart Tolle book. It was a little bit too deep for me. And now that was years ago. I might have to, when Oprah first had him on the book club, this is years ago then, when Oprah first had him on the book club, I was trying to read it. I was like, I'm not following. I might revisit him. But yes, he has such powerful, which I say, insights when it comes to thinking and not allowing your thoughts, the feeling of, oh my gosh, I just thought that, so it is. No, really, you gotta think of it as a passing through. Your thoughts are happening. Your brain is functioning. It is having a metabolic function. But I have to realize I've been conditioned, trained by something else to believe who I am and what I believe. Y'all got to be bring every thought under control. Thank you. Coach Anna in the building. Coach, let me see what you're saying here. I don't know if StreamYard is giving me all of your things. I'm looking at the content. As it pops up, it'll come up, guys. I want to go.
I'm losing a connection a little bit.
I'm seeing my connection go in and out, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. So hey guys, can you see us?
Woo! Yes, you're back.
All right, that's the only, they would say that. Old folks would say that's the devil trying to get me.
Right.
I'm like, it kicked me out. Get on, get on, get on. This is how. Thank you, Coach Anna. She says this is so good, wonderful segment. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Struggle streaming already. We are not our thoughts. It is just happening. Thank you so much. This is what we're about. This is what if it gives some person a new realization of what they're doing in their day-to-day life. You sitting at home, you pining, you watching that news, you can't bring yourself to think positivity. It is the conditioning, my darlings. It is the conditioning of what we're taught by our parents, what is taught by generational imparting, what is taught by even some teachers, what they told you, some preachers, what they told you. We got to be very conscious of, whoa, why am I? Figure out the origins of it. Then you can learn to counteract it and be captive in that moment. That's not true. You got to counteract it in that moment. That thing come in your head. That's not true. What if it turns out to be a great business or a great podcast, or they do give me the job, right? And again, once we've been hurt and there's pain and there's a lot attached to that hot stove reaction of our brain, we try to shy away from it. And we have to be conscious of what's happening, and that the brain is just doing its metabolic function, and that we are not necessarily that thought. It is a passing piece of us that we can either accept or reject. I hear you. She's agreeing with Coach Anna. I see some flames. Thank you. Drop an emoji if you don't know what to say. What's up? No weapon formed against us has ever prospered. I couldn't agree more, Uncle Stu. Fear is not Ooh, let's read this again. Fear is not the absence of doubt.
Woo.
We still gonna doubt, but you don't have to be afraid. Oh my, oh my, oh my. We take calculated risks. That's a good word.
Yes.
That's a good word. We take calculated risks. It's not that something might not happen. The only thing that's certain is change, as they say. So the plan may change, but y'all got to realize the goal not changing. So you might get a different avenue. It might take a little longer. It might not be through the person that you thought that blessing would come through. But the goal is not going to change. Sometimes we marry to the plan.
Come on.
We don't want to change the plan. We had it all planned out. You was going to be married by 25. Now you 30. What?
Yeah.
Be present and act anyway. That's a good word. Be present. Now. What's the next best thing? Do it now.
Yes.
That's a good word. Thank you. Master Lion Tamer is agreeing with you. Thank you too much, Kevin Samuels. We lead you in fear of not. Yes, I agree.
Right. Leave him behind.
Girl, I had to stop watching. I was like, ooh, child, this is a little too much for me. I know I'm lovable and I love people, so I gotta hold on to.
That's right. That's right.
I love the way you put that. Don't be mad at Suzette Speaks when you have to embrace good advice. Well, thank you. Yes. Oh, no, we're not losing. Yes, I'm sorry with that struggle stream. A little connectivity problem. Yes, Nadine, welcome. Saying just do it.
That's my mama. That's my mama, y'all.
Yes, hey, mama in the building. Welcome, Mom. Thanks for joining. Yes, I am back. What if you do meet the right mate? Are you asking for her? Possibly, directly. Andrew says, I don't know if that's for me or for you. We have to embrace the challenge and allow success to rain on us. Yes, the difficult parts, guys. We want what they say, the promise without the process. That's what my last guest said. It stuck with me. Promise without the process. I don't think you could ever get a promise without the process. But oftentimes fear will talk us out of the process. So we never get the promise. So it's a very real part. And I think we have to learn to accept it. Not that you're going to live in like a hardship forever. And I'm big on that with marriage. Like people think they got to endure a marriage. If you got to endure it, hon, we might have to, till death do us part. Maybe that marriage did. I don't know. I'm not getting your business, guys. But I'm just saying, to a certain extent, there has to be a process, right? For us to attain growth, to grow in faith, all of that. But oftentimes that fear keeps us from even entering the process. We don't even get on the court. We're not even in the game. So therefore we are already losing. We've already lost. So it's very important to be aware, guys, that fear will sneak its ugly head. But you may have doubts, but you should act and react anyway. Ooh, yes. Thank you, Master Lion Tamer. You can see me expanding this topic to much younger women. Yes, I hear you. Because sometimes we get these messages at all different stages of life, but the earlier you can get it. I've definitely talked to young women, different stages and conferences and whatnot, been invited because the earlier we can get our kids into this and understanding this, the better off they'll be. Take me into your business life. Take me into your home life. What were you able to do in spite of fear? We're getting Israelites never saw the promised land because of fear. Don't be them. Hello. So you realize this is, I have to be optimistic. I have to take calculated risk. I do it anyway. I'm still, may have some doubt, but I do it anyway. And where has that led you? Talk about your business and how you've become entrepreneurial. And what was your vision for that?
Well, because I realized that pretty much that I'm more of a leader than someone that needs to follow necessarily through leadership. So every leader had to learn to first follow, which I had to do. Then I realized that I was being rejected. And I said, what if this is God's plan? But initially I didn't believe it was his plan for me. I was devastated when I lost my last job because I had to go do surgery. The recovery process was forever. It was almost a year, and they couldn't wait that long for me under their policies. They were very, very patient with me, but it just was one of those things. And I said, this is not going to work. I can't find stability and I have 2 young boys that I need to care for. This is just not going to work. Lord, what am I going to do? I was wondering and thinking so hard, and finally inspiration came. And it has always been my passion to inspire others through whatever it is that I do. I used to do praise dance, and that was my biggest way of inspiring people. And I taught my son that, and that's something he does for ministry. And it came to me, aspire to inspire. And the essence of the company was to aspire young kids who are aspiring to do great things. They've been told perhaps they're not good enough, or they have low self-esteem. To be honest with you, most of the time that would be the case. The shy ones, those are the kids I wanted. I wanted the kids that were kind of locked in, and God gave me a natural gift to teach these kids how to shine. So those kids that were often in the corner, that was like not often seen, those were the kids I wanted to work on, because I was that child. So the essence of the company is aspire young minds to inspire others. So by me empowering them and our company empowering these young people, they can then turn around to inspire someone else. So that was what we decided to do. And we've been doing that since 2018. And that has been a passion, a deep passion. And I've seen God really do some great things through our company. And it's now to the point where we're actually going to venture off into the nonprofit sector, because
Nice.
I am so much of a service person that I'm definitely going with my gut on that, because I see where a lot more can come of it in the service aspect. Wow. So it is going to become more of a service industry where we can.
But I tell people all the time, we've got nonprofit. Service don't make me, you don't make money.
Don't make me, you not make money. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because people are like, oh, you have a nonprofit. I'm like, yes, and it's profitable. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much.
Yes.
Just the mission has to do with what you're talking about. But
there you go.
I think, especially once you get that paperwork together, it actually opens a lot of doors. Absolutely. When you go into a nonprofit, and there's so many grants, so many people looking for, like I said, yesterday is a show, people who are really making the impact. Yes. And I think that will open up a lot of doors for you. I'm excited for you, my darling. Yes. Yes. So do you have fear now when it comes to your kids? How old, like, I know you got a little kid. May I ask you how old your kids are?
So I have an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and 4-month-old who is in the hospital.
Wow. In the hospital?
There is fear. Oh, yeah. God got it. He got it.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. And I see, hey, welcome to the chat. Welcome, Queen Regina. And Sandy says, thank you for these words and of inspiration. I needed this. This is what it's about going into the week. You guys, I'm going to set up a lot more Sunday chats. I think these are more powerful. This is kind of like, your backup word, if you will, to kind of help encourage you. I listen to different podcasts all the time. That's just going to get me lifted. So that's the idea behind these type of chats when you see them. We want to make sure, again, we are dumped on. A lot of negativity comes in, but we want to, make space. We want to add to the mix something more enlightening, more positive, something that shows you how to counteract all of that, parts of our life here in the West. We have so much stress. We have so much, anxiety, so much pressure, plus a pandemic. So this thing called fear, I'm sure many of us are, whether you're going to drop it in the chat or not, have or are dealing with it to certain degrees. So to hear someone who is now, you are fully legally blind now?
Fully legally blind.
So how you get around? People got to drive you? I'm asking all that.
Yeah, my fiance, he drives me around.
Oh, excuse me, the fiance. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. My fiance. My fiance drives me. Okay.
To point B. I'm still very much independent. I took a course with what was it? It's a division of blind services. So that was a fear of mine. I didn't want to take these classes. I didn't want to acknowledge, oh my God, I'm blind. The state knows it, it's acknowledged through the state privately, but I didn't want to acknowledge it. And taking that course was everything. I even joined the Beat Baseball League, which is for blind people. It's a beat baseball. So the baseball beeps when it's coming towards you. So if I can't see it, I can hear really well. My hearing is exceptional. So I was really great at that.
I'm like, hold up, I'm watching. don't mean to
Yeah.
laugh. I don't want to make light of it. But I'm
Yes.
imagining blind people playing baseball. And I'm like,
It was
wait a
really
minute.
cool.
What's
Really
really
cool.
happening?
Really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
we're
what?
only
We got
depending on our
that?
hearing. Absolutely. And that
Wow.
for me was me embracing who I was. Not embracing negativity, but embracing who I was and embracing that I can still exist in a community, even though I wasn't totally blind. I'm still blind enough to have accommodations anywhere I go. Once it's, it
I'm
is
sorry. I'm laughing because
step sticker
Christopher
to 9. Yeah.
he's talking about checking out Susie says the NFL games are whack. Well, I'm glad I'm your backup, bro. I'm glad. Well, you're going to enjoy the conversation. There's so much in what
Yes.
you even just said. I'm listening and I'm listening for nuggets.
Yes.
Because once you admit, you find community.
Yes. Yeah.
Once you admit,
yes,
you find community.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to struggle and we're going to say, that's not me. I don't have any problems with this. You're legally blind on paper. And now we're like, no, I don't even want to go. That league is for blind people. That's not
right.
me.
That's not me. So I'm not all the way
I'm
there.
only a little blind. Y'all blind. I don't want to be with it. Oh, how we judge. Human beings are so funny. We're like, but that ain't me though. You losing your sight, but that ain't me though.
Right.
But look at the doors that open.
Absolutely.
Once you choose to acknowledge.
Yes.
Once we step into the, this really happened to me. This really, I'm facing this. This is hurting. This is my baggage. That's my bag, lady. That's my bag.
Yes.
And then once I can say it and I can say it out loud, say it to myself, maybe say it to someone else. And then find solidarity.
Absolutely.
Find respite.
Yes.
Find joy.
Correct.
Some of us holding it back and been carrying that bag for so long. That bag of fear.
Oh, yeah.
In whatever area of our lives and can't speak it. Whoa, there's a word. Speak and accept it. Ooh, wow. Because we taught, don't say it. You don't want to get it. So don't talk about it. Don't plan for no funeral. I don't want to plan for no funeral because I don't want to die. Like, hello. We're so funny when we want to be.
Right.
But the very acknowledgement of, whoa, this fear has really consumed a lot of my time, or for some, taken over my life.
Absolutely.
I need to get to the origin of where the thoughts came from. I need to realize my brain is doing what it's doing kind of autonomically to just preserve me. I am not my thoughts. And then I need to come up with the counter thinking, or start feeding myself the positive affirmation counter thinking, as well as doing things even though there's doubt, not fear. Doubt. Reasonable doubt is totally normal. It's the fear that takes you out of the game.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of nuggets, y'all. I hope y'all get. Let me read these comments. Let me read these comments. Hey, what's up, Mr. Blue Water 2121 in the chat? Welcome. Oh, question from Simon Hectic. Thank you, Simon. Out of interest, just out of curiosity, is there a difference between blind and visually impaired? Is that the same meaning for those who are challenged in terms of their vision? Blind versus visually impaired, that's the same thing? You can use them.
It's different. So if you're visually impaired, you're not necessarily legally blind. I was visually impaired for a while, and then I became legally blind.
Okay, so it's a degree. So impairment means maybe some of your vision is gone, but then there's a threshold you must meet in order to be legally blind.
Correct.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, great question, Simon. Grandma 11, listening to this conversation has made me so grateful. I can remember the whole white knuckle fear of heart surgery, and here I am. God is so good. I'm not even going to talk about all my family because I said I wasn't going to talk about my family on YouTube, but I have a loved one who is also in need of a surgery. And when I see her suffer the fear of the surgery, I'm like, look how much better, or, anything could happen in surgery. We know surgery has a risk of death, especially heart surgery. And I've met a couple people whose loved one, passed away after getting like a stent. So I'm not saying, there's no danger. Once you cut into your body, there's a danger. But we take calculated risks, and the risk of dying of whatever she has is actually pretty high too. So I can't make any decisions for anyone. I would love her to even watch this, because sometimes I'm like, God, Lee, God, it's only for you to tell her. I can't tell her what to do. But I just think about, especially when it comes to these type of things like surgeries, it can be very difficult to differentiate between what is reasonable doubt and what is fear. Fear, what she's talking about, white knuckle fear, because it is scary. Your mind is trying to preserve you. Your mind is saying, honey, they're going to touch on your heart. And my mom would talk about how she held the heart in her hand. I'm like, this is real. They open heart surgery. Now they don't do it as much, but you know, you use stents and things, and you use like robotics. They try not to cut you, but it's still touching your organs.
Right.
Well, this is huge. But I hear you. So that's going to help somebody right now. Thank you, Grandma of 11. Now look here. Lord Lovesmith says, Suzette Speaks, where's my dinner? I hope you cook some brown stew, chicken, and rice and beans. Now, you know what? I'm never going to answer that. I have not made, I was actually going to pick up something. I brought groceries. Guys, I use a wonderful lady here who does kind of like a meal prep service. And she's sick this week. I had to run to the grocery store this morning. I was like, I got to cook. So I'll be making shrimp. I'm not sure what kind. I got my sweet potatoes on deck. No rice and peas today. I was like, this week is gonna be a sweet potato week because I'm not gonna have my meal service. So I bought 2 bags of sweet potatoes. I'm about to go roast one and then maybe bacon and mash during later in the week. But yeah, thinking about that food, huh? Yeah, we get a little hungry here. Yes. Juana says, or she might say Joanna, but I say Juana. Okay. Says, yes, tell your mind what to think. You have the power. Trust it. I tell myself that's a lie. When I hear certain things, I'm like, "Woo, that's a lie." No, you know what I do this for? My fear is in friendships. Y'all ever have these fears and assuming if you let someone down, they're not gonna be your friend no more?
Right.
Like that big time. I used to be like so afraid of letting people down. I guess that's the other part of the fear, and being so like scared to like say no or just to disappoint in whatever way. A friend. I was really big on that because again, I don't have a romantic relationship. So friendships mean a lot to me. So being able to, be flexible with them and do all that, I was always very fearful. Now I'm just like, you got to love me for me. I'm going to be a friend, but I'm not going to like put myself in positions where, I'm dead tired and I'm like trying to do this for you and trying to do that. No, I have to actually do some of my own self-care. And that has come with maturity as well. I see you, Nadine. Thank you. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. I hear you, sis. Couldn't agree more. Grandma Love says, and it's occasionally fear that makes me go. It's occasionally fear that makes me go outside and walk, but I can redirect the anxiety. I hear you. So arresting the thought for some people looks like just bringing to your mind a counter thought that is the opposite of what you're hearing.
That's right.
Girl, he ain't gonna like you. Girl, you too fat to do this, or girl, you this and that, the fear of, you said you have to counter it in that moment. The lion, again, where's no lion. So the big fear now is the job and all these things.
Right.
Outsized, impacts on us in terms of us, navigating the politics of work. And we now, going through all these things. And now we're applying those same survival tactics to like, corporate stuff, Western style problems, or you say first world problems. That's what we're like. That's the new lion. So these outsized feelings about decisions at work, decisions in other spaces. It can be kind of imbalancing. Were you gonna add something there?
Oh, me? Well, actually, the only thing I wanted to just say to our listening audience is that fear keeps us at a mediocre level. So if you find that you're living a mediocre life, a life that is beneath your potential that you have inside, it is fear that's debilitating you. So if you can push past that fear, or in spite of, just coming on the show, I had a slight anxiety because it's just like, I'm anxious. I want to, oh my God, I want to really connect. I really want to help someone today. And sometimes I get a little nervous, but I combat that fear with a thought that, no, you have something to say. You have something to share. Someone will value what you have to say. So always combat that negative thought with the reverse and say something positive to yourself. Understand that fear is paralyzing. So don't allow anything to cripple you and to keep you in the same position that you have been in for whatever amount of time you've been counting. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, it is The potential is already inside of you. It's already there. You already have access to it. You just have not yet unlocked that door because you are scared of either rejection, you're scared of the, possibility of just greatness. Some of us are afraid of our own greatness. And I just want to say that
some people scared of success.
That's it. I'm afraid I'm gonna blow up and it's really gonna go well. What am I gonna do? You're gonna do you.
Excuse me. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
That's you, Suzette. You gonna blow up.
Listen, it has been a struggle for me.
Yes.
Yes.
And
what if you blow up? What if you this? What if you that?
It's fine.
What if it's great?
Yeah.
And as you said, right up until the moment you coming on the show, I'm not gonna have nothing to say. Nobody's gonna listen to me. You gotta arrest them thoughts, meaning counteracting that. She's saying, this is a word, y'all.
Absolutely.
Right in that moment, before the interview, say out loud, shut up. I will be good.
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to hear
it. But they say don't answer back, but just say it.
You gotta talk back.
Sometimes you gotta talk back to yourself. We can do all things. Oh, I went too far back. Yes. I think it was here. Okay. The best way to be the fear of dying is to know that God is on the other side. Rejoice. Meal prep on deck. You know it. What's up? Now I got to be my own meal prepper. I'm fine with it. 2 bags of shrimp. Are they clean? Yeah, I got to clean them. So yeah, it'll be probably tomorrow before. So that's why I take out tonight. And then we'll do real cooking tomorrow. Yes. People pleasing. People want to be down. And that's a big one for women, especially. People pleasing is not a joke. The J is pronounced. So I'm going to say Juana. Okay. I hope I get it right. Devil is a lie. Tell that mind it's something else going on. Not you, not today.
Not today.
You're not gonna have me today. Wake up, play positive music. Anything that can counteract that thought. Start getting yourself, once you start feeling that downness and that heaviness and that depressive state coming, try to counteract it. Play a podcast. Listen to something positive. Get your favorite music on. It's hard to hear, I'm happy, and still hold that mood. It's so funny how the emotion, then the thoughts follow, then the action follows. So you have to get emotions. Sometimes we give them too much power, too much credit. Absolutely. So oftentimes the negativity and the fear comes from the emotional state we're in. Well, you can control how you set your emotional table. You know what? When I see the mailman, that pisses me off. I'm not going out there until he drops the mail off. And now, because there's this 1 or 2 little people in your life that you're like, wait a minute, you try to rob me of my joy. You trying to take me out of my positive state of mind.
That's right.
And so if whether it's husbands, whether it's wives, whether it's kids, I'm just saying control the controllables. So when there are moments where you are feeling this heaviness, or this triggers me, or like I said, even I'm trying to think of a practical situation in my life right now. It's not the mailman, but you just know there are certain triggers. Don't let that person throw you off. You try to intercept or would we say be proactive before. Set the emotional tone before.
Yes.
You step into that job. You step into that conversation. You deal with that friend. You deal with that loved one.
That's right.
And if it doesn't work for you, what would we just say? It maybe not be deuces forever, but it could be just deuces for right now. You are not. I heard one of my guests earlier. I think it was who was that said it? You're just not vibrating where I'm vibrating right now.
Ooh.
I'm not mad at you.
Your vibration too low.
I don't even wish nothing bad. But we just ain't vibrating right now on the same wavelength, sis. So right now, I'm not gonna be able to take that lunch. I'm not gonna be able to take that call.
Yes.
And I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not worried about how you feel about it. I know it's for my mental health.
Yes.
And then when we get back kind of close to the same vibration, we can pick up what we left off. It happens.
And you know what, Suzette?
Yes, darling. Go ahead.
I realize too, if we don't filter who we speak our dreams to, we're going to continue in the cycle of fear. So don't connect yourself. Don't share your deepest dreams and aspirations with people who are negative, with people who aren't believers, with people who don't think positively, because that is a problem. Because you will share with someone an aspiration of yours and they'll say, how you going to do that? You ain't got the resources. I don't think I think you're moving too fast. Oh, I don't think you should do that. Before you're done, you're depleted. You're burnt out. You no longer have a vision for yourself. You no longer believe in yourself because you hold this person to a high esteem because perhaps they're a loved one or a friend. But you have to know who are truly the builders in your life. So it's not because they're your sibling, your spouse, or a friend mean that they're the builder in your life. So surround yourself with builders, people who will help to elevate your thinking, people who will tell you, yes, girl, you can do it. Dr. Mears, who was just on, who commented in the comments, she's always told me, Shenae, I see you running for office. I was like, me? Well, yeah, let's do that. You know, so that's someone I want to have.
You?
That's someone I want to have.
Builders, builders. Who is your builder in your life? Y'all, can you count 2-3 people that's in your life that are the builders, that build you up and encourage you no matter what, that believe in your dream, that drop that positivity on you when you need it? Do y'all have builders in your life? Or you just have the naysayers? Yeah, we got to do some checking. I don't know. COVID was supposed to have y'all doing the life inventory. Did y'all do it?
Right.
Did you do it? Who are the builders? Because again, I can agree with you more. Fear comes out of a lot of other people and projected onto you. So whether it's the idea, I have learned less people you tell, even with the YouTube, I haven't been talking to a lot of people at all. They're like, what you doing? What you doing? You on YouTube? You're an attorney. Yes, I'm on YouTube and like it's very weird. But guess what? They're going to be coming on to watch soon. She's saying, absolutely. I think it's just, you know, again, that also goes with maturity and age and understanding how people are. You know, when people are in their comfort zone, they want the water to, you know, level out right where they are. And how dare you step beyond that? How dare you rise above that? And it makes some folk very uncomfortable. So they're saying things, guys. I'm like, God, Lee, I've had people say stuff to me. I'm like, that's not really them. That's like their fear talking. And I'm grateful I've matured enough to see that I'm like, I'm not mad at that person I don't feel emotional animus. I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking and I'm processing. I'm like, God, Lee, she's talking out of what she feels about herself. That's sad. Like, I don't take it personally. I actually can look at it again as a kind of like neutral observer. Like, what was just said and where did it originate for her towards me? And is it about me? No, it's not. Gaston's World says, I feel attacked. Afraidness says, you ain't the only one. I'm just going to speak my truth. Yeah, I'm not trying to speak yours. But that's real. Yes. A lot of us been hiding.
Absolutely.
What if we got too big? What if our family rejected us? I've had that happen to people. You're like the most successful people in your family and like they stop talking to you.
Yeah.
And what? God provides other people.
That's right.
You have to adopt a family. You're going to have to do other things. I mean, in terms of friends and extended people and acquaintances that become like family.
Yes.
It's real. A lot of people stay right where they are because they're fearing, you know, success. You ain't the only one. I'm not the only one either. Managing autophobia is a thing. A level of anxiety can be a good thing, makes you human. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Healthy. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at my computer. Is need to be plugged in. Sorry, that was very ghetto. But yes, my computer. That's what I'm looking at. Oh, there I am. All right. Grandma, I thought that until I faced death. I prefer to live. I prefer to change my lifestyle to achieve that goal. I hear you. Queen Regina, I'm listening to you and I'm 55. Suzette, you impressed me the other all night on TLA. Thank you. I love your energy. Appreciate it, sis. Thank you for being a part of our squad. That's what I'm calling my folks on my channel. So far, I've met so many new people and neat people. So I'm glad to be connected. Juana says, yes, step into the moment before. Thank you. Masterline said, yeah, that's so real. That's so real. They're the company you keep will either increase your fear or decrease your fear. So you also, great nugget, you've got to be conscious of who you're telling what to and whether they're going to increase your fear or decrease your fear. That's very big. That is very, do that circle check. I ain't telling you to switch everybody out. I ain't trying to tell you no new friends, but I'm just telling you in the season that you're in, just make sure your circle is serving you. And again, if they're vibrating different, it is not a goodbye. It is not a goodbye forever. It could just be a goodbye for right now. I can't take that and I don't need that in my spirit right now, sis. That's really what it means. Yes. Thank you. I've been enjoying Shenae. We're gonna stay on for just a little bit longer. We got so many comments. Miss Coach Anna says, yes, positivity is a choice. With all you do, protect your peace.
That's right.
Y'all better hear what we got to say. Even the chat got some good words of encouragement. Yes. Thank you, Coach. Yes, walk in silence sometimes. Y'all moving different. Sometimes you cannot tell everybody the plan. You cannot tell everybody the plan. I know we're so excited. We got a new idea. But what I said earlier, the destination don't change, but sometimes a plan must. Yes. So when you tell them a plan and then it morphs a little bit, they're like, oh, she wasn't serious about that. She was serious about it. Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. But the destination and the eye on the prize, the purpose is where you're going. That's how you're getting to the purpose and how you are implementing the purposes, it can change. Yes. Right. So people can say, but now you're doing this, but you doing the same thing. You're helping kids now. So it just has a different look, but the same purpose has always existed. Absolutely. Not everybody can understand that. Right. Some people be digging in your dirt. Trying to make you feel like you're making, you on that? You on this now? Yes, I am, actually. Thanks. Yeah. Simon, thank you, says, good point, Shenae. Absolutely. Say it again, Miss Hudson. Sharing your dream with the wrong folks. Yes. It's so draining. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you, Master Lion. Thank you for talking about, wow, this is so good. Well, we try. We trying. Listen, Jane in the building. What's good? Welcome to my fellow sister from South Florida. Also, yes. Has a channel, wonderful show, yes. All of that good stuff. Great energy about her. Greetings, ladies. I will have to watch a replay. Just getting in. South Florida strong. Yes, see you there. Thanks for the support, sis. Love having you. Thank you. Coach Anna got a word. Yes, she does. Protect that peace. Why not? Yes, Lord. Mother, best friend, Roro since 1974, and ex I date. Who is that? Mother, best friend. Who is best friend? Is that the right chat? Is that what I got to do? What? All right. What water seeks? I don't know. Mother, best friend, Roro. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. An ex I did. No. Okay, I thought you were talking about like a bad friend your mom had. I don't know, Miss Favorite. Just go ahead and clarify for me, love. Water seeks to its own level. Be like the water, says Bruce Lee. Building awareness. Very refreshing. I'm hoping that's what that says. Thank you, Mr. Hectic. Let the dead weight fall off, says Andrew. It is not the kill, but the joy of the hunt. Awesome. Thank you for that insight. Not that yes, the process. You got to learn to enjoy this process. And you got to understand that life is like waves. You're going to be down. And are you storm weather? I would say storm ready, weather ready at the same time. But can you weather, the ebbs and flows? Mm-hmm. Is that where you are? Or are you maturing to become that? It's okay if that's not where you are, but hopefully you are evolving and doing what it takes mentally, spiritually, right? Emotionally, to understand why, if you're not weathering it well, why you're not. And then it's half the battle is to acknowledge, but the other half is to make the adjustment. That's what I think people forget. You got to make the adjustment. Now you got to be like, what do I need to change now that I've heard this? Happy to have been introduced to you too. You're a kind spirit. Oh, thank you. L.O. Appreciate you being here, sis. Love the interview, both of you. Love to interview. Okay, as long as when you talk about relationships, Uncle Stu. That's earlier. That was not gonna be my lane. So let's as long as you stay out of that lane, I'm good. Would love to be there, Uncle Stu. Thank you. Okay, he says that. Real talk with Uncle Stu. I would love that, Uncle Stu. Thank you for extending that. I'll hit you up on social media. I always, if you guys want to be a guest, know of somebody who would be good. You can always DM me, maybe on like Instagram or something, and I can get with them and make it a part. We want to have you close this out, Shenae. I've enjoyed this. I want to read a few more comments. You guys have been very active in the chat. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you have not done so already. We already at 1,000K. Thanks to you.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I told you guys at the beginning, if you didn't catch the open, I think I'm going to use this week to do a reaction to the TLA interview. Mm-hmm. Again, outside of comfort zones. But I'm going to ask what you think and what you thought, particularly probably start with ladies first. I don't know if it'll be Wednesday or Thursday. So one of my guests who I had scheduled for this week, she's not feeling well. She had to cancel. So I will definitely see you Saturday. And I got a couple good Sundays. I think all my Sundays in November, if not 3 out of 4 are booked. So get ready for this time on Sundays to do more of this heavy lifting when it comes to personal and emotional and mental health development. We're going to do that on Sundays as well. The Vibes Lounge says, the shame you can't share your dreams with people. Isn't that a shame? But listen, the society is conditioning us to be like literally haters, like competitive for no reason. You're not in competition with me. I'm not in competition with you, but you feel that way. So there's so much about it that unfortunately is goes back to your thinking. So when you're elevating and you're reaching a higher vibration, not everybody else is. That's what it really boils down to. Is to find the like-minded people and to find people who are not intimidated by, jealous of, or just hating on your success. So that's the process, unfortunately, that we have to deal with. Thank you, Grandma Lemon. I watched the video of you, Suzette, speaking. Do you to the 5th graders? I care. You saw that. Oh, taking me back. That was a while ago. Thank you. I forgot I still had that posted. Thank you. Shanae is the bomb, says the Vibes Lounge. At Andrew Walker, a professor many years ago, ventured the journey is the true success. I understand that. Like the process. Ventured, the journey is the true success. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yes, Sandy W. I can't even stir my food in the pot because I'm stopping to write down these gems. Yes, girl, that's what we have for.
Love it.
That's the goal. That is the goal. So thank you. So I can reflect later. Yeah, pray on these, meditate on these. Anything that you've heard that is like, woo, kind of like, write it down. It's cool. Write it in your phone. Do a voice note and then revisit it later. Something that you want to think and just allow yourself to kind of fully digest it. And Sandy W. They laughing at you, Sandy. Your pot, don't watch that pot, please. Don't let the rice and peas burn. Also, self-development should be our goal. Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. Yes. Appreciate you very much. Uncle Stu saying back, I've been in development for over 50 years. Wow, I'm doing well. Yeah, God is so good to me. Absolutely. And he's sharing it, paying it forward. ATL. Okay, that's where you are, Queen Regina. I'm in ATL, Wakanda. Yeah, you kept it so real from the female perspective about dating. My darling, there was so much more I wanted to say. I'm kind of glad I didn't say it because, sometimes people just don't believe you. Because I realize even just watching a little bit of the chat, I'm like, even when I'm being myself and just saying how I really feel, people are like, that's cap. Did she lie? She like, it's you just got to do you. That's what I realized. You cannot please everybody.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Okay, great. Perfect. That TLA juice. Yes, we're going to discuss it later this week. Y'all look it out. Look out for it. Sorry. That's how I know I need to get off. I'm like swirling my words here. Flowers for the upstanding ladies. Oh, appreciate it, Simons. Appreciate your support. Thank you. As usual, you ladies provided good food for the soul. Gonna stir up your gift. Thank you. Oh, I mean pot, Sandy. Good one, Grandma of 11. No, I'm not going to talk about relationships because you are more appreciative of a woman. You are a woman of God. Thank you. I will send you an email. Yes, please do. I'm down for it. I'm big on collaborating. If y'all have channels that we can again do some exchange, or I could be on yours, whatever. I love to do it. So I'm gonna ask my guests to end with some positive, uplifting, just some nugget that is just sitting with her. You've said so much already, my darling. I'm just grateful that you have been a part of this healthy discussion about, fear and that emotion and how it plays out, what it looks like, and having, lived your life. I think you have just the best insight into what it is to move beyond it. So go ahead and you guys wrap up with any comments you want to leave before we get off. Go ahead, Miss Shenae Hudson.
Well, I just wanted to just give a quick reminder of the things to bear in mind, the tips. As you mentioned, and you mentioned very well, was that we first have to acknowledge where this fear comes from, acknowledge where this negative thinking comes from. Was this triggered through my childhood? Was this through a relationship? Was this through something that I was told? Or is it something I've experienced and I'm afraid of experiencing it again? So acknowledging your why and where is this coming from? Second, confront that fear. How do you confront this fear? Confront this fear with positive thoughts. So the moment that negative thought comes to mind, confront it with a positive thought. So if you're hearing, no, I may not be able to do this, they're not going to give me the job, or they're not going to trust me, or they're not going to believe me, or I shouldn't start this, or I shouldn't do this. Maybe I might not be received by my audience. Whatever it is that you are seeking to do, that the moment that you feel that negative thought, confront it, arrest it, however you want to state that, with a positive thought. Then third, that same thing that you are fearing, practice doing it every time you get an opportunity. For me, it is public speaking. And lo and behold, who would know that that would actually be something I want to do? However, I sometimes have to battle that. And I still put myself in the position to speak to people. So I constantly challenge myself. So constantly challenge yourself against that fear, your fear of whatever it is, of moving to that new location, that fear of taking that position, that fear of being a parent. Some of us, we're afraid of parenthood. We're afraid of marriage. We're afraid of commitment. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, practice it daily so that you can achieve it. Practice it daily so that you can master it. And after a while, you realize that that fear has subsided. It will constantly try to come back, but you'll realize that it has subsided a significant amount.
Thank you so much for those encouraging words, Ms. Shenae Hudson. I've enjoyed having you. You are definitely in your lane. There are going to be a lot of people who have watched this who will get, upliftment from it, new insight from it, and hopefully change some things in their lives. That's the important thing.
Absolutely.
I am excited. I still see the chat coming through. I got to let you go, but I'm going to get to a couple of chats. Great show. Thank you, Master Lion Tamer. Thanks for hanging in there and being with us. Andrew says, thank you, Miss Hudson. Joanna says, love Miss Shenae with the hearts. Thank you. I like this idea. Master Lion Tamer says, Suzette, you should do a mini YouTube clips of Miss Hudson, especially her closing statement. I hear you. She got plenty of nuggets today. I haven't gotten that advanced. Y'all think I'm in the YouTube verse. I have not gotten that advanced yet. So understanding how to do my download and maybe do some edits, I'm going to work on that. That's next step. Thank you, though. Great idea. You're great at speaking, Miss. Yes, I can see you changing lives. Absolutely. Great insights. Thank you, 𝙒𝘼𝘾𝙀. Miss Queen Regina out of ATL says, at 55, I remind young women it's okay to be the hell and the high water. Okay, ma'am. I see you. Time to go. I love it. Master Lion Tamer agrees. Tell that mountain to move. Okay, let the church say.
Amen.
I'm very inspired. I'm grateful you guys could watch, enjoy. Thank you for the great comments. Thank you, Gaston's World. Appreciate it. I'll be there for the content. Keep it up. Thank you. We're trying to do a little upliftment. All I know is people are hurting, and there are not a lot of spaces that are dealing with emotional and mental and spiritual health. So when I feel that way, I'm sure there are other people that feel that way and who want to, work on it. Like I said, we could have these so-called healthy relationships everybody wants us to have, but most times when we get in them, we're not healthy. So they're not lasting. Thank you for these last comments. TLA is going live in 25 minutes. Okay, Gaston, I don't know. I'm not a glutton for punishment. We'll see how that goes. Thank you, Melissa Jane. She said you were so graceful. Thank you about the TLA show. I appreciate it, y'all. So look up for the reaction show. I'm going to see what you guys have to say, especially my ladies. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Shenae, I'm going to leave your website in the description. So if people want more information about what you do, where to find her, you guys can know. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for watching. And again, I just appreciate you guys being a part of my squad. All right. Miss Shenae Hudson, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me
so much. To all of you out here on the YouTube verse, thank you very much for supporting. I'm going to actually drop my Cash App. Somebody asked. I'm just going to flash it. Somebody asked. I think I was thinking next month. I wasn't sure because I literally just hit 1,000. I did a banner of it, I think. Nope, that's not it. Did I do a banner? If I did it, maybe that's a sign. 2 people had dropped it in the chat. There we go. So in case you want to support, appreciate the support. I know monetization will come at some point, cross fingers. And it probably, thanks to TLA, will come faster than I anticipated. So thank you guys. That's my Cash App. So if you are led, I feel like church.
You let the give.
I'm not good at that part, y'all, but they told me to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just drop it. Okay. Appreciate you. Guys, and y'all act like y'all don't want to go. Ask TLA. He would definitely let you jump on. Oh my. I don't know if I'm ready for that, guys. I'm gonna let what's in the YouTube verse kind of like settle. Blessings to you, my sister. Thank you so much. You what you trying to boost up, Mr. Gaston's world? He's like, no, I'm gonna talk to basically that's his chat administrator. I'm going to give you the whole backstory, Shenae. I should probably warn you that this may come up so you know what the people were talking about, but I'll send you the link. Beautiful. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you. Oh, mommy. That's mom. I'm here. Thank you. Yes, I'm sure you're so proud. Pass the plate time. What'd you say? That part, I'm like, okay, this is new to me. So anyway, for real, Shenae Hudson, it's been such a pleasure. Aspire to Inspire Agency. Keep up the great work. Get that book done, girl. All the ways in which you've encouraged us today. We can't say thank you enough. All right. Love y'all. Check in with y'all soon. Thank you. Oh, God. Thank you. I'm not used to this. Thank you. I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all support. Share the video. Like the video. Subscribe. Thank you. The website, please. I will drop her website in the description. Shenae, please text it to me. Okay. I love you all. All right. Appreciate y'all being on this journey with us. All right. Blessings to each and every. Okay. We really got to say goodbye. Bye, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next show.
All right.
Bye.